What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right. So, I made one little mistake, but that's okay. So, today we're going to go over the build, the only build. And there will be some differences based on class. So, I do want to stress this. The only difference is going to be our weapons. That's it. It's just going to be the weapons. The build itself is pretty much going to be lateral. So, Tuscavans is going to be our set. Right? Why? Because its effects will cross over. Right? So we can use Tuscavans to apply the crit on the back bar when we're using, the destruction staff. So pretty much. Now, this is a necro, but I'll go ahead and show you what we're going to do for every other class. Because pen values change and stuff, but, the necro does get, for example, extra penetration. So if I wanted to say, because of that, currently I have 5'9". Because the necro gets a penetrating value, I could afford to switch this out for Tuscavans, right? And that will bring down my penetration to 5, but it'll push up my critical value, right? Because of the light armor, actually, not the medium. I'll get a better critical modifier. Sorry, because I'm lacking what? I'll lack the spell or weapon damage, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, because when I go into the skills, into this, and when we take a look at Gravelord, anytime I cast a ability, I get 1500 penetration. So, the Necro can afford to go with this setup. So, basically, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 medium. Every other class, 3 medium. Every other class, except the Necro, would go 4 light, 3 medium. But Necros can go 4 medium, 3 light. Okay? You're still going to use mothers on top of this. Right? You're still going to use the mothers. You're still going to use the slime crawl. Right? You're going to glyph it health so you can get that 20. Right? That's not going to change. And then you're going, even as a stam, you're going to take a lightning staff of Maelstrom. Why? Because you're going to get penetration. Right? Once again, a penetrating value. So if we go to the back bar, we're going to get over that 6. And then we get the AoE effects from the lightning staff, which increases our damage, AoE damage, by 10%. Okay? So that's where it's at. Now, given the fact that I am a Necro and I also get a critical value under 25%, I can afford to go the axes. That's not always going to be the case. So based on the class, you might go daggers, you might go swords, you might go axes. If you're a stam sork and you're using a 2H, obviously you cannot go daggers, so you would either go axes. I don't think a lot of people will be playing them all. You could, and then go more into the medium, but you will sacrifice a critical value. So I honestly think it'll be between the axes and swords. And the axes do give that extra critical damage because you can pick up the penetration through the light. So there's where we're at. But the two sets remain: mothers and Tuscavans, kilts and slime crawl. With, no matter what, they're going to say Maelstrom, because of the light attacks are going to be better than the bow, the Maelstrom bow. That's going to be relevant. There you have it. So this is pretty much about it. Now, this wouldn't apply to another class, any other class, but if you wanted to go more bloodthirsty, you could. That's optional. Okay. So, but there are some bugs going on. I'm just trying to... But once you see this, you'll see my penetration hits up at 6.5 with the pet, when the pet's active. Okay? And of course, once we drink our potion, get our Skaven buffs. I want to get that up. Alright. Potion's not. I wonder if that's active. Or at least I have all my sets engaged. 78, something's wrong. Should be at 80 something. Right, that's it, that's it. I forgot to switch that out. So to Skavens, we're gonna switch this out for mothers. Sorry. So make sure you do that. That'll be at 86 then. $85 with axes with 2,000 recovery. There you have it, boys and girls. There you have it. Oh, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, 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 baby. Okay. So, we'll drop, and then I'll switch tunes, and I'll give you guys the lowdown on this one. Okay. So, I hope everybody's doing good today. People hate me. I don't give a fuck. Okay. So we're going to switch to, we're going to make a new tune, and I'll kind of demonstrate the configuration on this. So let's go ahead and say I was going to, now Khajiit's going to be nice because you can switch between. It's one of the ones that can go between mag and stand pretty well. That's going to be more preference based. But, I mean, you could take other races. It's all about your, you know what they say, it's about the min-max. You know, I don't really care. I really don't. I never did. Okay. Now let's say, for example, I was going to make a Templar. Okay. You know. For example. Just whatever. It's max. Alright. Now, everything's definitely going to come into play between your group functionality, more or less. You got to remember that minor sorceries applied to the mag version, but not minor brutality. But if your tank is a DK, or you have a DK in your group that apply minor brutality, you're going to get that. So disregard pretty much the minors and take a look at the other passives that are contributing factor, really, to determine. I mean, I'm not saying it's not whatever, but you know, whatever. Everybody kind of all right. we're going to go over here. We'll set everything up almost the same way. Now, the biggest thing that I want to show you guys is the weapon damage, or, you know, to the passives to the Templar. Because why? Because I don't get critical value on Templar the same way I get it on Crow, or neither the penetration. That's relevant. Remember this, remember this. So let's go ahead and say we're still going to go stand based for shits and giggles and whatever else have you. Now, the biggest thing that we're going to take a look at is the Adric Spears. We increase the critical damage, so we don't need axes. Axes give us 8%, but when an ability is slotted, we get a critical damage increase by 10. So we're getting 2% more, right? I think we all can see that, right? So that's the biggest deal to it. Whether we go mag or stam on that. Same thing with Burning Light, magic, or whatever. Increase your weapon and spell damage and physical and spell. So we're getting an additional 6%, what? To that modifier. So that allows us to go in extra light instead of medium. So instead of having 3 medium, we could get away with 2. Okay? So it's about the passives, not the setup, the passives. Okay, it's math. It's math. It's math. Okay, so we're going to go back in, and it's the same thing, man. We want that alternate weapons. We want dungeon sets. We want our monster set. We want our overland set. We want our mythic. All right, so we're going to go with Maelstrom Perfected Weapons. Right. We're going to go with our dungeon set, the medium. We're going to go with a staff. We want that lightning. You can go with the infused. That's fine. If you want to go whatever, you can do that too. I'm not going to have an argument with people on that type of stuff. Okay. Once again, we're going to go down to the Scobbins. We're going to go with that monster set. Now, what are we going to do? We only need 2. So we're going to take that medium. It doesn't matter how you do it. But, you know, we can go with the medium head. All right. We go overlands. We're going to go with mothers. So what we need is we need the jewelry and we need the weapons on this build. Now, once again, we have critical, so we're not going to take that. So what are we going to take? We're going to increase our critical chance, right? Because we already have weapon, and we already have a critical modifier, so we need to increase our critical chance. All right. Slight alterations. Slight. Nothing too crazy, man. Did I grab it? I think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So I need the mythic. All right. So once again, we're going to put the daggers here. We'll put our Maelstrom Destruction Staff. Now, once again, rotations change based on what? Skill abilities. So that'll make a difference in maximizing your output. Your rotation is going to be a little funky in between each class, so you know, everybody should get accommodated to that. All right, now let's see. Of course, we'll change all of this as well. Of course, we will. All right. So as you guys can see, we get that really lovely whatever. Now we take a look. Ta-da! Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Okay, we're still not done. No. Need that. Need that. I'm not worried about the weapons right now, but I am going to get the armor. We need 1 health. The rest stam. At least 5 pieces. Take our big piece with the infused, put it towards the health. Okay, then we need the jewelry. All right. Of course, we need skills. Now remember, we have to have 1 ability on each, right? So we're going to take Radical Sweep regardless, right? And AoE, definitely our main spammable is going to be here. Right. So everybody's aware. Single target. Like I said, you know, getting the layout is one of the most important elements here. Alright. Once again, we can apply the Camouflage Hunter on both bars. The Barb Trap. Okay. Destruction Staff. We're always going to use this wall now. Alright. It's a big plus. Alright. I'm trying to think what other AoE I could go with on this bar. Besides all of this, you know, I mean, I could use the Undaunted or whatever, but on this bar, like for example, I would want a lot more durations. Like I could use the Twin Slashes and the Bladed Cloak, for example. So you could use Blood Craze if you want to. Or Deadly Cloak. You have to put it on this bar though. Okay. There's just not an option. Okay. And then if you wanted another AoE, I don't think anything else would really, you know, be too beneficial. Oh, duh. Nope, never mind. I forgot my finisher. So actually I could do it that way too. So for example, dual wield, Steel Tornado. Then I could put Deadly Cloak like right here, and then I could use my Power of Light right here. Just for an example, but you have 3 AoEs, but you really definitely want to take advantage of the Biting Jabs AoE effect on the lightning, you know. Due to that, you want to make sure that you're stacking the dot effects, you know, prior, you know, on this bar, you know, due to everything as well. But I'm just kind of whatever, just kind of give an example of stats and everything else that's being applied. I'd have to lay out everything, get nitty gritty on all of that to really hone in on a full layout. Okay. Transmute. Get our thief. Now we need a lunchbox. All right. Oh, don't even know why I did that. Whatever. Oh, no. Yeah. Now, before everything, we're at 73.4 with 61 critical of penetration. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Now, technically, if you felt like you weren't getting a light jab in, I should have added the into effect, but I'm just trying to no. Come on. If you wanted to use the bow on this tune because of the jabs, because you wasn't feeling like you're getting light attack, you could do that. But let's see where we're at. 90% critical, 91. But I'm telling you, the jabs with the lightning is going to be the better way to go. Just fucking God, man, I really should have done that. There you have it. Da 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 da. All right. I mean, like, the wall, it really does help, and of course, light attacking between the jabs is really hard on a Stamplar. So, I mean, if you wanted to use the bow, you could, but you'd be giving up that 10%. You know what I'm saying? And that is kind of the lovely aspect of having the staff, even on the Stamplar, because that's a nice amount of damage. 10% added. Oh yeah. And it just keeps going with those bleeds, man. Now, if you wanted to put the jabs on that side, for example, you know, and switch things around, you could. So I'm just kind of giving you guys a layout, though. Dave, bro, the PvP builds and solo builds I'm about to make. Can you say Scathing Mage, Scoria, Spell, Strategy, or on Stamplar, on Magplar? For PvP, that would be interesting, the Scoria. I don't like the trial bonus doesn't apply to PvP, but that spell and weapon damage would be interesting. You know, plus you'd have to stay in. I mean, well, you just move and you get it. Two-Fang Snake. Two-Fang Snake's good because it doesn't have that. Plus you get that dot. That's kind of interesting. You can also use the Ice Staff to apply. Yeah, Ice Staff is beast, man. I mean, I think Ice Staff for PvP is just way to go. Stamplar, you should Deafy Strike 15 to your channel abilities. Right. That's a good... yeah, for... Well, I mean... And that's, you know... Like I said, I'm just going over, like, you know, things about the critical. Because, you know, the thing about it is, when we take a look at the base, we're at 65. We're barely under that 65%. And I've always said, don't push over, because what you end up doing is... you get a diminishing return, right? So you don't want that, really. So, but you want to get to over the 52 for the penetration, or, you know, for penetrating value. You want to stay around 20 for the health. You want to make sure your recovery is good, things like that. Which, even if I drink a pot prior to any other buff, I'm at 17, you know. I mean, that's it's going to be up to every individual. But, you know, overall, everything, this layout is just changed on weapons and, you know, passives. That's what I'm saying. Mothers to Scavens, Slime Crawl Kill, PvE, all day. All fucking day. Why? Because the mothers, when it stays static, is going to give the penetrating value. It comes in light. That's going to give, I mean, it's going to give critical value for static. Then we're going to get the light bonuses for penetration, and then of course Tuscavans carries, so long as the effects, you know, the crit stacks are stacking between the bar swap, and of course lightning staff, you know, AOE's all day. You know, it's going to increase by 10%. That's even more than, you know, your most of your weapon stacks. You know, the bow becomes irrelevant at that point. Why settle for one damage modifier when you can modify all effects? So, yeah, pretty much. And that goes across the board, you know. So, yep. I think it's good. I think we're good to go. But I just wanted to help people. I'm not playing this game currently. I'm not. But everybody's going to be like, Mystic, what? And I'm like, I like beating the meta. I just like to. They never knew what they were talking about years ago. Oh, that class can't heal. That class can't tank. Remember? Remember? Oh, there's no such thing as diminishing returns. There's no such thing. Slime crawl and kilt. Who runs that? You all do. You all do. And say hello again. Again. And again. And again. And again. I beat you guys all the time. All the time. All the fucking time. Oh, it's not easy being me. Everybody hates my guts. Everybody hates my guts. Anyways. Well, not everybody. I appreciate you guys. So, there it is. Said and done. Everybody have a good one. Dave, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Really, I do. And to all my haters, especially the posers, fuck you. Peace.